I have a friend who's a contemporary American philosopher, and he writes that we act out a story, we act out a collective mythology. And for all of human history, we have acted out a mythology progressively called the story of separation. If we look at human history progressively, we've come to this point in time now where we are collectively, our collective mythology of separation has now become broken, where we collectively as societies and civilizations started to act out as if we were separate from God, as if we were separate from each other, as if we were separate from nature, as if we were separate, and we acted out this story of separation. And our societies are collapsing and breaking down because of these stories. But at the same time, what's emerging now is a new story for our collective mythology. And it's a story of interbeing. It's a story of interconnection. It's a story of reunification. It's a story of coming together and realizing that we are all one. And this is not just now a place to be in a spiritual practice and spiritual practitioners can pursue this oneness. This is now necessary for our survival as a species to engage a new collective mythology that we are one, that we treat our fellow humans as one, that we treat the earth as one, that we treat everything as one. This must become the story of our being, the story of our collective mythology as humanity. It's a new story that's being written right now. It's a story that's been told in all great spiritual traditions. It's the story of yoga. It's the story of Dharma. It's the story of Buddhism. It's the true story of Christianity and Judeo-Christian traditions. It's the true story of all spiritual traditions. They've always been calling us back into union, back into reunification and reconnection and love and altruism and selfless service as the basis of who we are and how we are to be. So what I'm noticing is that, this is a beautiful opportunity to see the breath as a way to enter into true spirituality, as a way to enter into this new mythology, this new story of interbeing, which is our true nature and the true nature of the universe. So Buteyko left us with this precious gift, and it is, how do we remember who we are? How do we remember the true nature of life and the true nature of the universe and of each other? How do we interact with each other? And as we use the breath as a way to begin to not only experience this conceptually, but experience this on the level of our physiology, and particularly on the level of our consciousness, we can start to enact the true premise of spirituality, the true premise of realizing our oneness, the true premise of realizing that we are love and we are all connected. And so we have this gift, we have different versions of spiritual practice, and when we put them together with this understanding of the breath, we can all start to walk collectively towards this new horizon, which we must do. And it's no longer a personal, I do this and you're over there and you do your practice. No, we are in a collective process where we are waking up, where we must wake up, and where we have all these tools and spiritual practices to do that. And we have the Buteyko method, which is teaching us that the quality of the breath is the quality of the consciousness, and the quality of the consciousness will determine what the future looks like. So I'm so honored to be here with all of you. That's my share on Yoga and Dharma, and it is a true privilege to be with all of you today. And I hope that in some way this conversation can radiate out into your life, can radiate out into the way that you look into another's eyes, the way that you enact your actions, and how you give your service and sing your song in life. So I love you all. I appreciate you all. And thank you so much for taking the time today.